How was Richard through your journey?
Richard was amazing. Words cannot describe what Richard was like. I don't think I would have got through my cancer treatment without Richard. I think I might have even given up on it.
Yeah? Can you explain just how he was so supportive?
Well, there were lots of times when he was the strength for me, and when I first got it, being 5 days before Christmas, it was just the wrong timing for us, for anybody to be told they have cancer. So, and we always have Christmas at my house. So obviously there had to be a time when I had to tell my children and my family. So Richard was the first to know, and it really didn't sink in for either one of us. You know, I didn't believe it, and I always was under the impression that cancer was hereditary. So, and there's no cancer in my family, so obviously I was the first one. So we decided on Christmas Day after lunch that we would tell the family. We'd get through the lunch, the presents and all that sort of thing, and then tell them. And we did do that. And then it came about 5 o'clock that day, and we decided to tell the children. And when I say children, well, one was still at school, and the other, well, about 14, and the other one was a little bit older, about 18, 19. And they were just dumbfounded, so as my parents were, and as they would be. And then we went up to Richard's family's farm for a couple of days before I knew I was about to start the surgery, and told them as well, and they were devastated too. So that was it. So first dose of chemo, I was told the hair would fall out almost straight away. And so we went for a weekend in Sydney, and my hair started falling out for the first time. And I didn't realise it until I got into the shower one morning, and I felt all this water flapping away my feet. And I looked down, and the plug was blocked from my hair.
Wow.
So that was it, and that's when we realised. When I came out of the shower and I started pulling it out, and it was just coming out. So that was pretty shocking.
Scary.
It was really scary.
Yeah,
very
that's a reality
scary.
check, isn't it?
Yeah. So then we came home from the Sydney trip, and every morning then after that, there was just the pillow was covered with hair until finally we knew that we had to shave it off. So we went down, and we had about 4 or 5 Harleys at that stage, and we went downstairs into our Harley shed, and he put a chair in the middle, and he shaved my head, and I decided I wouldn't have a mirror down there because I didn't want to see it. And he shaved it, and he got halfway through it, and he started crying, and then I started crying, and I said, come on, finish it while we can, and we finished shaving it. And I have to say, at that point, I had not even looked at my scar or my lack of breast at all to that point. I made a deliberate choice not to look at my chest, so it had been a couple of weeks. So I decided to do the whole thing in one. I decided to strip down since I was bald and have a good look at what I looked like. So I was bald and one boob, and it was pretty damn ugly for me at that stage. I didn't like what I saw. So, and from then on, Richard just did whatever he needed to do, and there was a lot of times when he needed to help me out and with medications and things that happened along the way, which were some are pretty private that happened, and viewers don't want to hear some of it. And he was just a strength, and he's a farm boy, so nothing was too much. You know, there were times when I was so embarrassed about some of the things that were happening to my body and inside my body that I didn't want him to have to help me with, but he did, and he did it with tears in his eyes, and he was just great. And I don't know, just some things you wouldn't think people would be expected to do for you, but he did it all.
You know, this is one of the things that I'm finding being on this walk, the Great Walk to Beijing, is just the love that people are sharing around their experiences with cancer. It's a hideous disease, we know that, but just some of the, you know, the human stories that are touching our hearts, and yet, you know, just yet again, you and Richard.
Yeah.
I mean, what a beautiful love story that is.
Yeah, and it is. And then, of course, I found that I knew then a lot about cancer, and I'd never even bothered to stop at a page where it was mentioned before. So now, and being in retail and women's fashion, I had a lot of women talking to me about it. And so I used to go into the shop and wear my wig And so the first 2 weeks after every session, I was too sick to go to work. So the third week I'd go in and I'd put my wig on, and I was so conscious of the fact that it looked like a wig. I'd put a hat on, and it was the middle of summer, so I was, you know, perspiring under everything. And my clients were coming in and, you know, chatting to me about it, which was good because it meant that every time I talked about it, more women became aware of it. And I'd go out to do my buying for my shop, and then 6 months later, when all the clothes came in, the girls used to ring me and say, everything's green. So obviously I saw green as either a calming colour or, I don't know why, but everything I was choosing was green.
New growth.
Maybe, yeah.
New growth.
Yeah, maybe new growth.
Yeah. We'll take a break
Yep.
and we'll come back and find out more of Rhonda's journey. Stay with us.